celebration, festivity, culture, tradition, customs, foods, fruits, historical museums, notable landmarks, flamboyant parks, vast seas, and home of different tribes and churches. The land of promise. This is Davao.
1936. President Manuel Quezon signs the Charter of Davao Assemblyman Romualdo Quimpo, creating the city of Davao. By March 1, 1937, Davao becomes a city. The law formally takes effect 15 days later. The new city was carved out from the municipality of Davao and the municipal district of Janga. A century before, it was a land inhabited by indigenous peoples. It belatedly colonized by Spain in the mid-1800s, led by Don Jose Uyangurin under the orders of Governor-General Narciso Claveria. Rapid economic progress began in the early 1900s under American rule. Roads, telegraph lines, ports were set up. Abaca and coconut plantations, ranches, factories were established. The period saw the entry of migrants from Luzon and Visayas along with the Chinese, Japanese, and the Americans. The city in its early years was governed by the succession of appointed leaders. The Japanese landed in Davao on December 20, 1941 and effectively controlled the city until the coming of the Americans in 1945. Immediately after the liberation, the city government was re-established. Despite suffering tremendous devastation after the war, the city's march to progress resumed. In 1955, Republic Act 1368 was signed into law, which provides for the election of the city mayor, vice mayor, and 10 city councilors. In November 1955, the first local city elections were held. And in 1967, Elias Lopez, a full-blooded Bagobo, is elected as the city's highest official. He was the first indigenous mayor of Davao City. Also in the same year, Davao Province was divided into Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur, and Davao Oriental. Davao City, the former capital, was made independent from the three provinces.
As of the 21st of this month, I signed Proclamation number 1081, placing the entire Philippines under martial law.
The city continued to grow well into the 70s, but political developments in the country also made a tremendous impact in the city. By the 1980s, the city was again plunged into turmoil. It became a bloody laboratory for urban guerrilla warfare waged by the Communist New People's Army. Shortly after EDSA, the new government under Corazon Aquino appointed OIC officials across the country.
But aside from its grandiose geographical setting and different fruits and foods, Davao City also has a rich history that will unfold its majestic culture and festivals, and even its golden beginnings. The first documented arrival of the Spaniards in Davao soil was as early as February 2, 1543. The said city was incorporated as a town in the year 1848 and incorporated as a city on 16th of March 1936. San Pedro Cathedral is the oldest church in the city, prominently located at the corner of San Pedro Street and CM Recto Avenue. Named after St. Peter, the patron saint, was said to have been built in 1847 by Don Jose Uyangurin, the Spanish conquistador who later became the first governor of Davao region. In 1902, Davao Evangelical Church was established.
The Davao River, the third largest river catchment in the south and main aquifer reservoir, along with a bevy of fertile terrain. Early settlers from across the archipelago recognized its potential, migrated, and later on prospered. Today, Davao is one of the most multicultural, progressive cities in the Philippines, owing much of its expansive progress to the land, its history, and its culture. It's no wonder that much of Davao City's tourist attractions are a homage to its roots. Acting as a reminder to all Davaoeños that a unified cultural front among all tribes found in this city, as it is also a declaration to visitors of how much it has achieved through years of change and challenges. The Museo Davaoeño houses an impressive collection of historical antiques and cultural artisanal pieces, from aged earthenware to native musical instruments to handcrafted couturier. These have contributed significantly to Davao City's expanding heritage. Divided into several galleries, each exhibits specific aspects of the city's culture and heritage. Cebu Camindanaoan Cultural Village is a park and recreation area that showcases the traditions and heritage of Mindanao's indigenous groups. Ethnic houses furnished with traditional houseware and tools have been built throughout the compound to represent each of the featured cultural communities. Apart from the houses, members of each tribe perform traditional dances alongside the playing of musical instruments. Davao City also has destinations that cater to visitors of unique interests and tastes. Devoted to raise awareness on the importance of taking care of the environment, the Bone Collectors Museum Inc. displays the largest collection of bones, skulls, and skeletons in the Philippines. Opened in 2012, this three-story osteological museum has already amassed over 700 specimens. According to President and Curator Daraldine Blatchley, each animal display tells the story of how the animal lived and died, and hopefully visitors will gain a valuable lesson. The Malagos Garden Resort offers several features that continually beckon tourists to visit this quaint, family-owned establishment. The resort has a science park, a butterfly garden, and a cafe and restaurant. But the sweetest part is the Malagos Chocolate Museum that allows resort visitors a unique experience. Guests get to discover how Davao's world-famous chocolates are made, from the farm nurseries to various stages of production, and finally to the finished mouth-watering products. An array of restaurants and food hubs spread throughout the streets of Davao City, offering the tastiest local cuisine at affordable prices, bringing delight to any gastronomic journey. Filipinos, the Rojas Night Market is an outdoor alfresco marketplace for street food and other local delicacies. An assortment of poultry, meat, and seafood are seasoned, marinated, and skewered, and then grilled or fried to perfection. These delectable morsels are a staple guilty pleasure for any true Filipino foodie. Davao City has truly blossomed from its humble beginnings. It is substantial proof that life is far more meaningful when shared. It is in all the colors and sound bursting from each and every one of us. Life truly is here in Davao City.